In this video, I will be discussing about the various terminology relating to ship's stability and their implications and effects to the behavior of the ship. Let us discuss the two forces that acts on the ship. There are two: the buoyancy and the gravity. So, if you draw the front part of the ship, the buoyancy is the upward force, while the gravity is the downward force. Now, first is, let us know where does the center of buoyancy located. So if we draw one part of the ship, add a water line, center line of the ship, center line. The center of buoyancy is located to the partially immersed part of the ship, which is in this case it's here. This is the partially immersed part, and this is the center. So this is where the center of buoyancy is, denoted as B. Next is the center of gravity. So the center of gravity is located just above the center of buoyancy. This is where the center of gravity is located because this is where the ship's weight is concentrated. Center of gravity is denoted as G. Next is the metacenter. So if you draw another to make it clear, center line is the water line. This is where center of buoyancy. This is where the center of gravity. Metacenter is located here, just the intersection of the buoyancy and the center line. If you draw another point of view, a healing ship, for instance, draw the center line, the water line, of course. This is the previous center of buoyancy. Now why did I say previous? Because if the ship is heeling, then the buoyancy will also shift. So there's a shift in buoyancy, and it is found in the middle part of the partially submerged part of the ship. So it's here. It is denoted as B sub 1. So the intersection from the buoyancy and the center line here is what we call metacenter. So as what I have said, metacenter is the intersection of the buoyancy and the center line of the ship. What is metacenter and why it is important? Metacenter is the limit of the stability of the ship, and it is important because if we have the metacenter, then we can get the metacentric height, which is the distance from center of gravity and the metacenter, the vertical distance from here to here is the metacentric height. Now we're down to metacentric height. The, the metacentric height is denoted as GM. Why metacentric height is important? It is because the metacentric height is directly proportional to the writing arm. Which means if the metacentric height is longer, then the writing arm or the writing lever would also be longer. Now why is this writing arm important? Because the writing arm determines the rolling period. Now, why did I say that the writing arm determines the rolling period? It is because opposite from the metacentric height and writing arm, which is they are directly proportional, the writing arm and the rolling period is indirectly proportional, meaning the longer the writing arm, the faster or the shorter the rolling period. The shorter the writing arm, the longer the rolling period. Now, let me illustrate why the writing arm is indirectly proportional to the rolling period. Let us demonstrate by using a chair. So, healing center line. This is the shift. This is the center of buoyancy. This is the water line. This is the shift of buoyancy. And the intersection is the metacenter. This is where the gravity is. This is the writing lever. And this is the GM or the metacentric height. Now, to demonstrate this, let us put force on both endpoints. So this is where the buoyancy force is acting, and this is where the gravity force is acting. If we both apply force, so as what you have observed, it is easy to move the ship because of the longer writing lever or the longer GM. Now, if we make the GM shorter, so as what I've said, the longer the writing arm, the shorter the rolling period, which means it is easy for the ship to move, as what the chair illustrated. Now, we made the GM shorter and the writing lever shorter. So if we apply force on both endpoints, now it is much harder to move. So the difference between a shorter GM and a longer GM affects the rolling period of a ship. Now we already know that the GM is the height of the metacenter. It is a metacentric height. So, for us to know the height of the buoyancy, the height of the center of the gravity, and the height of the point of the metacenter, we need to have a reference point, which is the keel. Just keel. Now, the keel is noted as K. The distance from the keel to the center of the buoyancy is denoted as KB. The distance from the keel to the center of gravity is denoted as KG. The distance from the keel the point of the metacenter is denoted as KM. Now that's the conclusion to the discussion of various terminology relating to ship stability and their implications and effects to the behavior of the ship. Thank you for watching.